There comes a time in life when you must decide who you truly are, a being of limitation or a being of infinite power. Every great change begins with a single shift in belief. When you begin to act as if nothing is impossible, the universe begins to respond in ways you never imagined. The doors you thought were locked begin to open. The opportunities you believed were out of reach begin to move toward you. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are a creator of possibilities. The key is to walk, think, and breathe as if every dream you hold is already yours. Everything begins in the mind. Every invention, every work of art, every success story, every act of courage, all of it was first born as a thought before the plane ever flew. Someone imagined what it would be like to soar through the sky before the phone connected, voices across oceans. Someone dreamed of communication beyond boundaries. The world you live in is nothing more than a mirror of countless thoughts that have been given energy and belief. The truth is simple yet profound. The mind creates first, and the world follows. When you understand this, you realize that you are not at the mercy of life. You are a participant in its creation. Your thoughts are the brush strokes on the canvas of your reality. Each thought, whether empowering or limiting, sends out an energetic signal that shapes what comes back to you. If you think in fear, doubt, and lack, you will experience situations that reflect those vibrations. But when you think in faith, joy, and abundance, life will begin to shift and reveal opportunities aligned with those higher frequencies. The mind is a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds. You cannot plant seeds of worry and expect a harvest of peace. You cannot nurture self-doubt and expect confidence to bloom. Whatever you repeatedly think becomes the soil from which your experiences grow. Every time you think a thought, you water it with your attention. The more attention you give it, the stronger it becomes until it eventually appears as form in your physical world. That is why awareness is your greatest power, because you can choose which seeds to nurture and which to let go of. Many people live unaware of this truth. They think life just happens to them. They react to events without realizing those very events were magnetized by their inner dialogue. They repeat old stories about what they can't do, who they aren't, and how unlucky they've been, and then wonder why the same patterns keep repeating. But when you awaken to the truth that your mind is the starting point of creation, everything begins to change. You stop fighting against what is and begin consciously shaping what can be. You no longer allow negative thoughts to take root because you understand that each one carries creative power. You begin to replace thoughts of fear with thoughts of faith. Instead of saying, "This is too hard," you begin to affirm, "I am capable, I am supported, everything I need is coming to me at the right time." You shift your focus from the problem to the possibility, and the energy begins to flow in a new direction. The outer world always mirrors the inner world. When you see confusion around you, look within and you'll find restless thoughts. When you see peace and flow in your life, it's because your inner being is calm and aligned. Nothing changes on the outside until something changes on the inside. That is why healing begins not in the body, but in the mind. Prosperity begins not in the wallet, but in the thoughts of worthiness and gratitude. Love begins not in the arms of another, but in the acceptance of your own heart. You have within you the same creative intelligence that made the stars and the oceans. That power does not exist outside of you. It breathes through you, waiting for direction. Every time you think a thought, you are giving that power an instruction. When you hold thoughts of what you desire with feeling and faith, the invisible forces of the universe move to bring it into form. Life does not resist you. It responds to you. So begin today by noticing what stories you tell yourself. Are they stories of limitation or expansion, of fear or faith, of doubt or possibility? Choose the thoughts that make you feel alive. Speak words that inspire hope. Imagine your desires already fulfilled and walk as if they are on their way to you. The world follows your mental picture. See yourself as successful, peaceful, and radiant, and watch as life rearranges itself to match the image you hold. Remember, creation is not something that happens once. It happens every moment, with every thought you choose. The power that shapes galaxies is the same power that listens to your inner voice. Think wisely, think lovingly, and think abundantly. When you do, the impossible begins to look possible, and then it becomes real. Believing beyond evidence means trusting in what your physical eyes cannot yet see. It means having faith in the unseen forces that are constantly working behind the curtain of life. Most people live by what they can touch, measure, or prove, but true transformation begins when you allow yourself to believe before there is proof. Every great dream, every miracle, every breakthrough has always begun in that sacred space. The gap between belief and evidence. Think of the seed buried beneath the soil. To the eye, there is nothing there, only dirt and darkness, yet within that stillness something powerful is happening. Life is unfolding quietly, unseen, preparing to emerge at the perfect time. The person who loses faith and digs it up to check on it destroys the process. But the one who believes, even without proof, will soon witness the miracle of growth. The same is true for your desires. The moment you plant them in the fertile soil of faith, life begins to work in your favor, but you must trust the process. Your faith is a bridge between the invisible and the visible. It is the energy that pulls unseen possibilities into form. When you decide to believe without needing proof, you align yourself with the intelligence that governs the universe. You signal to life that you are ready to receive. Belief is not blind, it is visionary. It is the quiet knowing that even when nothing seems to be happening, everything is unfolding exactly as it should. There will be moments when the evidence around you contradicts what you hope for. The bills may be higher than your bank balance. The relationship may seem distant. The opportunity may look delayed. But that is the moment to hold your faith the strongest. That is the moment to whisper to yourself, I don't need to see it to know it's coming. Because faith that depends on evidence is not faith at all. It is observation. True faith walks confidently through uncertainty, knowing that the unseen is more real than the seen. The universe responds not to what you see, but to what you believe. When you believe that good things are possible, you attract conditions that prove it. When you believe that nothing ever works out for you, life provides more of the same. The world reflects your dominant vibration, and your belief is the frequency that sets it. That is why it is so important to believe before you see, to affirm before it appears, to give thanks before it arrives. Gratitude in advance is a declaration of trust. It tells the universe, I know it's already mine, and I am ready to receive it. You must also remember that doubt is natural, but it doesn't have to be powerful. Doubt comes when the mind looks for evidence of what the soul already knows to be true. The key is not to eliminate doubt, but to rise above it. You do this by redirecting your focus. Instead of asking, where is it? Ask, what would it feel like when it arrives? The more you dwell in the energy of fulfillment, the faster it moves toward you. The law of life is simple. Whatever you focus on expands, so focus on trust, on possibility, on the vision of your desired outcome already here. Faith is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about standing strong even when nothing seems certain. It's about saying, I may not see the way, but I know there is one. Every time you choose to believe instead of doubt, you shift your energy from fear to creation. The universe listens to that vibration. Doors begin to open. Synchronicities appear. People show up. Everything starts aligning because you dared to trust what could not yet be proven. The mind loves evidence because it feels safe there, but the soul thrives in mystery. The soul knows that the invisible world is far more powerful than the visible one. Every thought, every prayer, every vision you hold with conviction sends a wave into that invisible realm, and life rearranges itself to match your inner certainty. So believe beyond evidence. Believe even when you have every reason to give up. Believe even when logic argues against you. Your belief is not a weakness. It is a creative command. What you choose to believe becomes your experience. Keep your heart steady, your thoughts pure, and your faith unshakable. The evidence you seek will appear, not because you chased it, but because you believed long enough for it to find you. Words are more than sounds. They are creative forces. Every word you speak carries energy, and that energy builds the foundation of your reality. When you speak defeat, you invite it. When you speak faith, you summon it. Life listens to the vibration of your words far more than it listens to your complaints or explanations. That is why it is so vital to guard your tongue and refuse to speak defeat no matter what you face. Your words are the seeds of your future. Each sentence you speak plants something in the soil of your life. When you constantly say, I can't do this, nothing ever works out for me, or I'm so unlucky, you are watering weeds that choke your growth. Those phrases may feel harmless, but they carry creative power. The universe has no sense of humor when it comes to your words. It simply says yes to whatever you declare. If you speak limitation, it delivers limitation. If you speak possibility, it delivers opportunity. Think of your words as commands to the energy of creation. Every time you open your mouth, you are giving instructions to life. That's why self-awareness matters so much. You cannot speak in the language of defeat and expect to live in the vibration of victory. The moment you start changing your language, you start changing your destiny. Instead of saying, I'm tired of this, say, I'm ready for better things. Instead of saying, I don't know how, say, I am open to new ideas. Even small shifts in words create massive shifts in energy. Your subconscious mind listens closely to everything you say. It accepts your words as truth without judgment or question. When you repeat disempowering statements, your subconscious begins to believe them and shape your behavior to match. That's why so many people feel trapped. Not because life has limited them, but because their own words have yet the moment you begin to affirm strength, confidence, and abundance, your mind starts working to make those affirmations real. It's not magic, it's alignment. When challenges arise, the easiest reaction is to speak from frustration. But those are the very moments when your words matter most. When things feel uncertain, speak clarity. When you feel weak, declare strength. When something falls apart, say something better is coming. You are not lying to yourself. You are choosing to speak from faith instead of fear. This is how transformation begins. Not by reacting to what is, but by declaring what can be. There is incredible strength in silence too. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is refuse to give your struggles more energy through words. When you complain, you reinforce the problem. When you keep repeating the story of your pain, you keep reliving it. But when you stay quiet, breathe, and speak only what uplifts, you cut off the power supply to negativity. Refusing to speak defeat is not about denying reality. It's about choosing which version of reality you want to strengthen. Be mindful of how you talk about yourself. Speak as someone who believes in their power. Replace self-criticism with self-compassion. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, affirm, I'm growing stronger every day. Instead of saying, I always fail, affirm, I'm learning how to succeed. Every time you choose an empowering word, you raise your vibration, your energy shifts. And when your energy shifts, everything around you begins to follow. It's also important to surround yourself with people who speak life, not limitation. The energy of the words spoken around you influences your own inner dialogue. Protect your space from gossip, negativity, and hopelessness. Choose environments that remind you of your potential. Speak love, speak gratitude, speak victory, even when no one else does. The world is constantly echoing your words back to you. If you speak light, you'll see more light. If you speak abundance, you'll find more abundance. What you declare becomes your experience. So when life challenges you, don't curse your situation. Bless it. Don't say, I can't go on. Say, I'm being strengthened. Don't say, this is impossible. Say, everything is working out for me in divine order. Every day you have a choice to speak defeat or to speak destiny. Choose your words like you are casting spells, because in truth you are the words you speak today. Create the world you will walk into tomorrow. Let your speech be filled with faith, power, and gratitude. Declare good things even when you don't yet see them. When you refuse to speak defeat, you make room for miracles to appear. Before anything becomes visible in your life, it must first be felt within you. Feeling is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. When you learn to feel it before it happens, you align your inner world with the vibration of your desire, and that alignment is what pulls it into your physical reality. You are not waiting for life to show you proof. You are becoming the proof through your energy, your emotions, and your faith. So many people wait for external results before they allow themselves to feel happy, grateful, or successful. They say, I'll feel confident when I have the job, or I'll feel loved when I find the right person. But the truth is the opposite. You must feel the joy, the confidence, and the love first. Before those things can appear, the universe responds not to your words alone, but to your vibration. And your vibration is determined by how you feel. Feeling is magnetic. It draws toward you the experiences that match your dominant emotional state. If you constantly feel fear, you'll attract situations that confirm your fears. But if you learn to embody peace, gratitude, and trust, you'll begin to draw more peace, more reasons to be thankful, and more evidence that life supports you. Everything in the outer world begins as energy in the inner world. To feel it before it happens means to live emotionally as if your desire were already fulfilled. If you wish to attract abundance, begin by feeling rich in spirit. Appreciate the money you already have, no matter how small. Feel grateful for the comfort, the shelter, the breath in your lungs. The vibration of gratitude is the frequency of abundance. The more you tune into that frequency, the faster abundance finds its way to you. If you're longing for love, don't wait for another person to fill that space. Become the vibration of love now. Treat yourself gently. Speak to yourself with kindness. Radiate the warmth and joy that you wish to receive when you live in the energy of love. Love has no choice but to find you. Feeling loved before it happens is not pretending. It is aligning. You are rehearsing the emotion of your future until it becomes familiar, until your subconscious mind accepts it as truth. Visualization is one of the most powerful ways to practice this. Close your eyes and imagine your desire already fulfilled. See it clearly in your mind, the place, the people, the moment. Now, most importantly, feel what that reality feels like. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement. Let those emotions move through your body as if it's happening right now. That feeling is your creative signal. The universe understands emotion far more than logic. When you feel it deeply, you send a message of certainty, and life responds accordingly. Many people make the mistake of focusing on the absence of what they want. They think about the lack of money, the lack of love, the lack of progress. But the more you focus on what's missing, the more you anchor yourself in that vibration. To change your reality, you must first change your inner state. Feeling abundance while the evidence is still invisible is an act of faith. It tells the universe, I trust you completely. And faith always produces results. This is not about ignoring reality. It's about creating a new one. You are not lying to yourself by feeling prosperous before the money arrives. You are building the energetic foundation that allows it to flow in. You are not denying pain by feeling peace. You are choosing the frequency that heals it. Everything you want is already available in the energetic field. You simply need to match the vibration of having it, not wanting it. When you begin to live in the vibration of fulfillment, life starts to rearrange itself to match you. You'll meet the right people, stumble upon the right opportunities, and receive intuitive nudges that guide you toward your desire. None of it is coincidence. It's alignment. You are not chasing the outcome. You are attracting it through the energy you embody. So feel it now. Feel the peace, the joy, the success, the love. Feel as though it's already yours. Because in truth, it already is. The moment you create the emotion, you begin the manifestation. The universe does not respond to time. It responds to vibration. And when your vibration matches the frequency of what you desire, the two must meet. It is law. Live as if it's already happening. Speak as if it's already done. Feel as though it's already real. The power to create is not in waiting. It's in feeling. When you master the art of feeling it before it happens, the impossible begins to unfold naturally. Life mirrors back to you the energy you give. And when your energy says, I already have it, life has no choice but to make it true. Failure is not your enemy. Fear is. Fear of failure has stopped more dreams, silenced more voices, and delayed more destinies than failure itself ever could. The truth is, failure is part of life's design. It's how we learn, grow, and evolve. But when you fear it, you resist the very process that leads to success. The moment you release the fear of failure, you open the door to freedom, creativity, and endless possibility. The fear of failure comes from a misunderstanding, the belief that mistakes define your worth. You may have been taught that failing means you are not good enough, that you should feel ashamed, or that others will judge you. But those are old stories that keep you trapped in hesitation. You are not defined by your results. You are defined by your courage to try again. Every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary has also failed many times. The difference is they did not let those failures convince them to stop. When you fail, you are not being punished, you are being redirected. Life is showing you what doesn't work so you can discover what does. Each setback contains wisdom if you are willing to look beyond the disappointment. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the path to success. The road to mastery is paved with attempts, adjustments, and lessons. Every time you get up after falling, you are becoming stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose. Fear of failure keeps you in a loop of perfectionism. It whispers, "Don't start until you're sure," or "Wait until you know everything." But waiting for perfection is another form of self-sabotage. There will never be a moment when everything feels certain. Progress happens when you act, even when you're unsure. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who never feel fear. They are the ones who move forward despite it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to act anyway. When you release the fear of failure, you reclaim your power. You stop seeking approval and start trusting your own inner guidance. You begin to understand that your worth is not attached to outcomes. Whether you succeed or fail, you remain valuable, whole, and capable. Your mistakes do not diminish your light, they polish it. Each experience shapes you into the person you are meant to become. Life doesn't demand perfection. It asks for participation. Think of a child learning to walk. They fall again and again, yet no one calls them a failure. They fall, laugh, and try again. Why? Because falling is part of walking. The same is true for your dreams. Each fall brings you closer to your balance. Each mistake builds resilience. When you embrace this truth, you stop fearing what might go wrong and start focusing on what could go right. The fear begins to fade because you understand it never had real power. It was only a thought, and thoughts can be changed. Failure is never final unless you decide to quit. As long as you keep learning and growing, you are still moving forward. Even when a door closes, another one opens. Sometimes the very thing that didn't work out was protecting you from something smaller than your destiny. When you look back, you will see that every failure was a step that led you exactly where you needed to be. To release the fear of failure, shift your focus from outcome to growth. Ask yourself, what am I learning through this? Celebrate the effort, not just the results. Speak kindly to yourself when things don't go as planned. Remind yourself that you are evolving. The more compassion you give yourself, the easier it becomes to try again. You are not created to live small, cautious, or safe. You were created to expand, to explore, and to express your divine potential. The fear of failure only exists in the mind, not in reality. Once you walk through it, you'll realize it was an illusion, a shadow that disappears in the light of faith. So take the step, make the call, start the dream. Allow yourself to stumble, to learn, to rise. Every time you choose faith over fear, the universe supports you. Life opens in your favor. When you move with courage, failure is not the end, it is the beginning of wisdom. Trust the process, embrace the lessons, and keep moving forward. When you release the fear of failure, you no longer wait for permission to live. You give yourself permission to become unstoppable. There comes a moment when you must stop forcing, stop struggling, and allow life to move with you. The universe is not against you. It is your silent partner, always guiding, supporting, and aligning things in your favor. But it can only work with you, not against your resistance, not through your fear, and not beneath your control. When you let the universe work with you, life begins to flow in ways you never thought possible. Doors open effortlessly. People appear at the right time. Opportunities find you without strain. Most of us have been conditioned to believe that we must do everything on our own, that only through constant effort, control, and worry will things turn out right. But that belief comes from separation, from forgetting that you are part of a greater intelligence that knows how to bring everything into harmony. The same power that makes the sun rise and the stars shine also beats your heart. That power is not distant. It lives within you and moves through you. When you begin to trust it, life becomes easier, lighter, and more miraculous. Letting the universe work with you doesn't mean giving up or sitting back in idleness. It means aligning your energy with faith. instead of fear. It means doing what you can from a place of inspiration and allowing the rest to unfold naturally. When you act from worry or desperation, your energy sends out resistance, a signal of lack and doubt. But when you act from trust, the universe responds with synchronicities, guidance, and support. It begins to match your vibration of calm certainty. Think of how water flows. It never forces its way through obstacles. It moves around them with grace and patience until it finds its path. You are meant to flow in the same way. When you stop pushing against life and start flowing with it, you become magnetic to everything you desire. The right ideas come at the right time. The right people enter your life effortlessly. You begin to sense that everything is connected and you are being guided even when you can't yet see the full picture. Control is the illusion that causes exhaustion. The more you try to control every outcome, the more disconnected you become from the natural rhythm of creation. The universe is far wiser than your plans. It knows the timing, the detours, and the lessons you need along the way. When you surrender control, you're not giving up power. You're aligning with a higher power. You're saying, I trust that everything is working out for my highest good, even if I don't understand it yet. That trust opens the channel for miracles. Letting the universe work with you also means listening to your intuition. That quiet inner voice is how life communicates. It nudges you toward the next step, even when logic says otherwise. You may feel drawn to call someone, take a chance, or change direction. Those subtle impulses are not coincidences. They are whispers from the universe guiding your path. When you honor them, you move in harmony with your destiny. Patience is another form of trust. Many people block their blessings by becoming impatient. They plant the seed and then keep digging it up to see if it's growing. But growth happens beneath the surface first. The universe never forgets a single request or prayer. It's always rearranging circumstances behind the scenes. Your job is not to question how or when. Your job is to stay in faith and gratitude until it arrives. When you work with the universe, you stop chasing and start attracting. You stop begging for outcomes and begin embodying the energy of having them. You start to see that everything you desire is already on its way. You just have to stay aligned long enough to receive it. That alignment comes from peace, gratitude, and belief. So breathe deeply and remind yourself, I am not alone in this journey. The same energy that moves galaxies is guiding my path. Every delay serves a purpose. Every detour carries wisdom. I am supported, protected, and led. The universe is not testing me. It is teaming up with me. When you let the universe work with you, miracles become normal. Life stops being a battle and becomes a dance, a rhythm of giving and receiving, trusting and allowing. You realize that you never needed to fight for what's yours. You only needed to align with it. So release the struggle. Replace control with trust. Take inspired action and then step back. Let the universe meet you halfway. When you do, you'll find that everything you've been chasing begins to flow effortlessly into your life, exactly when you're ready to receive it.